Former Florida State defensive back Bryant McFadden is here. We're going to talk a little college football. And, you know, in the offseason, they're always talking about new rules. This one that they're throwing out there could impact transfer rules for players and coaches. Once their coach leaves, perhaps the players can follow. Specifically, let's just take the SEC, for example, okay? Here's the names for being replaced going into the 2018 season. Bielema, McElwain, Selman, Jones, they're all out. Morris, Mullen, Fisher, Pruitt, they're the new names in the conference. So why bring this up? Well, there's a proposal that would allow players to immediately transfer to another school should their coach leave the program. The players would not have to sit out a season, but would not be able to follow their coach. So with so many coaching changes, what do you think about this transfer rule? Do you think it perhaps would cause administrations to think twice about letting go of a coach if they know that players could leave with them?
Well, first, I love this rule, potentially. I think this is much needed because a lot of these coaches, they put so much time into recruiting the player and also recruiting the guardians. And then ultimately they're leaving in a year or two. It may not be anticipated, but sometimes the business calls for coaches to get fired, or coaches may take jobs elsewhere based on seeing a better opportunity for them and their family. And they leave, and now the player that they recruited is left at a standstill. They signed on to that particular university rate because of a scheme, because of a fit, an ideal fit. Now, not knowing who would take over, and their philosophy may not fit these players, and now these players are kind of set up in a lose-lose type of deal. And I think if this rule was to be put in place, as far as universities, would they think twice in firing a coach, knowing that their players, a lot of key starters, could potentially leave and follow that coach? I don't think so, because we have to look at it like this. I don't care how good a player is. No player or players, they're bigger than the university. They're bigger than the football program. And I understand administration, they understand and know what player is attached to this coach or this coordinator. But yet and still, they have to do what's best for the universities and what's best when it comes to the boosters and that relationship. And you better believe the boosters, they recognize all the big-time key players. But when it comes to coach and he's not getting the job done with this big-time star, we got to look for a new coach. If we lose a player, we lose a player. But when you talk about the university compared to players, that will always side in the university's favor.
Seems like it's always about the bigger picture. So we'll have to see if the NCAA and the coaches all agree to make this change.